Right. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Talk It Out TNT, the podcast where we talk real issues with real people and real solution. I am Irvin.
And I'm Damien. Today we are pouring out the truth on a serious issue affecting our workplaces, communities, and homes, which is alcohol abuse. I'll now give a short definition on the topic we'll be discussing today. Alcohol abuse or alcohol use disorder, known as AUD, is a medical condition in which a person continues to consume alcohol despite the adverse consequences. AUD can be mild, moderate, or severe.
Yes, Damien. Whether it's a weekend lime, family get together, or even stress at work, alcohol is prevalent and widely available. Whether it be the Johnny, everybody's familiar with the Johnny, the Double Dogs, Carib, Stag, Old Pa, it's everywhere. But sometimes, when it starts off as a little drink here and there, but it turns into a big problem. That's what Damien.
Well, Irvin, and that's why we have invited two amazing professionals to
What is?
join us today to help us understand why alcohol abuse is on the rise and how people can get help. Let us welcome our guests, Ms. Petal Friday, who is a clinical psychologist, and Mr. Rondell Fraser, a substance abuse counselor. Welcome, guys.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having us. This is such an important topic, especially here in Trinidad and Tobago, where drinking is so culturally embedded.
Absolutely. We see it all the time. People drinking to cope, to celebrate, even escape. But over time, that casual drink could become a dependency.
If I may ask, what are some of the signs someone might be exhibiting this abusing alcohol?
Good question. Look for changes in behavior, missing work, mood swings, secrecy, even financial problems. And when someone can't relate or function without alcohol, that is a major red flag.
For true. Also, listen to what they're saying. If you hear things like, I need a drink to sleep, or I can't handle stress without rum, that dependency talking there.
What would you say to someone who feels ashamed or scared to seek help?
Shame keeps people silent, but healing starts with just one conversation. Reach out. You're not alone. And there's no shame in taking back that control.
Well, okay, let's jump right into it. We have a caller on the line. Our first caller is from the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service. You are live. Tell us your name and what's going on with you.
Hello. Thanks for taking my call.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. For confidentiality sake, I'm wearing the mask, and I'll go by the by PO2M, which is PAMAC, right? I oversee a batch of officers at the remand prison in Golden Grove. One of my officers, I'll call him Officer X, has been showing signs that he might be struggling with alcoholism.
Well, thanks for reaching out, PO2 Mark. That's not easy. Can you tell us more about what you have been seeing?
Yeah, sure. Well, over the past few months, I've noticed mood swings with the officer, frequent lateness. Sometimes he's calling in sick after the weekends. His performance has been slipping because he's a very good officer. Slower reaction in cases of emergencies when the alarm rings. Poor judgment in dealing with situations, and sometimes using unnecessary force against the inmates. I've also caught a faint smell of alcohol on him a couple of times during our shift. And it had the other officers on edge to start to complain and creating tension.
All right. Pure Mark, first of all, I really want to thank you for being observant and caring. Alcoholism is high stress environment. Like prisons isn't an uncommon thing, right? It's crucial. We approach this with both compassion and responsibility. Have you addressed this with the officer directly at all? Finding out if the officer, has a problem causing him with the alcohol. Have you addressed anything at all?
But not yet. But I've been documented the incident in my journal. And what I'm contemplating disciplinary action against oversights. But I don't want to lose him. As I said before, he's a very good officer. However, safety behind those walls, prison walls, is a paramount my responsibility and non-negotiable for me.
Absolutely. And you're right there. A line between protecting the institution and helping someone who you may be, in crisis. I'd recommend a private, non-judgmental conversation first. Something like, I've noticed a few things that concern me. Your well-being, changes in behavior, and how it might be affecting your performance. Let him know that you care about him and you want to help him. Is there anything else that you want us to talk about? Now this is what opened the door without putting him on the defensive side.
And I'll just jump in, if I may. Your leadership here matters. People in uniform often, sometimes they feel they can't show weakness, It's okay, to ask for help because it could be life-changing for him. You understand, man? Yeah.
That makes sense. If he admits he has a problem, well, what's my next move? What do we next?
I'm aware that the prisons has employee assistance program, which is the EAPs, right?
Yeah.
If officer however, is not comfortable with attending the EPA at work, he can connect with local addiction services or peer support groups for law enforcement. You can also recommend counseling and, if necessary, initiate a temporary duty reassignment while he gets help. And document everything, not just for legal protection, but just to track that, the progress.
Thank you very much. That gives me a framework, and I just hope he opens up to it.
You see, you're planting a seed. Even if he resists at first, knowing someone sees him and cares, maybe just the push that he needs. And remember, you don't have to carry this alone either. Get support for yourself too, okay?
Be behind those prison walls. We'll appreciate it if you keep us posted on your progress.
Will do. I appreciate you all. Thanks very much for the info.
Okay, then. Again, I think we have a next caller on the line. I think it's Dion from Arima. Dion, are you hearing us? Welcome.
Hi. Morning, Mr. Irvin. Morning, Mr. Damian, and a pleasant good morning.
Welcome, Mr. Roberts.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Well, my reason for calling this morning is to really get some advice from a cousin who lives with me.
Okay, Dion. What would you like to get advice about?
Right. No, my cousin, he lives with me and my family. And of late, I believe he dabbled in some sort of substance. Just recently, he lost his job. And he's telling me the reason why he lost his job is because the boss and his supervisor against him and they don't like him. But I am of the belief that it's because of those substances, whatever substance he abusing, caused him to lose his work. So I just want to get some advice from you all to see how I could assist him with whatever problem he's having.
So why I believe that is a substance is an issue with substance abuse, as the case may be. Why I believe it's substance abuse and not something else.
Well, as I said before, I'm not too sure. However, I've been observing him, and I find in recent times his behavior and his appearance started change. And when I say that, I really say his appearance. Sometimes when he come home, his eyes bloodshot. I find he lost a lot of weight. Sometimes the man smelling really bad. These days, I'm gonna watch his skin. He has some skin infections, and his dental is in a mess. And then, as relates to his behavior, when the kids go around him, he's very aggressive and irritable. And I really find too, he always seems to be depressed and withdrawn from the family.
All right. Well, them symptoms and thing we're talking about, that's another classic case of substance abuse. Does he have a history of substance abuse in the past?
Not to my knowledge, but it have a rumor going around in the village. No.
Oh.
Keep in mind that he never tell me this, but it have a rumor going around that his last girlfriend has HIV, and apparently, like, she gave it to him. So since that, like, he just went downhill. Since that, like, he just went off the rails after that.
Oh. Well, Dion, from what you mentioned so far, I firmly believe that of them outward signs, like the change in appearance, the behavior, he also exhibiting symptoms of, he really exhibiting symptoms of some sort of substance abuse, right? And I'm sure the news about the girlfriend, that trigger him up, that trigger him. That will trigger anybody. I understand that, right? But it's clear to me that your cousin needs some help.
All right. So, well, with that information I give you all, can you all assist me with, at least with helping him?
Yeah, for sure. We could assist. But firstly, you should approach the situation with no judgment. No judgment, no anger. Express some concern for him. Let him know that you're concerned about his well-being and the case may be, and you're not getting in between anything of the sort, right? Showing some love. Don't bring no blame thing and say it's your fault. And now we're not going to, it's not about that, right? Then let him know that you and the family, you're willing to support him, not to criticize him.
Okay. Well, I understand that. I understand that.
Right?
So what next?
Well, we'll take your information off the air and we will discuss this matter further and ensure your cousin get the appropriate help that he deserves.
Okay. All right. Well, I thank you for the information and I appreciate you all a lot. Thanks very much.
Stay on the line, Don't think Mr. Barrington will take your information shortly.
Yes, sir. Will do. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Irvin, let's take one more call. We have Didi on the line from Maloney. Go ahead, Didi. You're alive. Hope you're not associated with Puff. Anyhow, Didi.
Good morning.
All right, go ahead. You're alive.
Thank you for taking my call. I've been listening to the program this morning. It's really nice. It's something I think the public needs to hear. I'm calling mainly because I think I have a close friend. His name is Jay-Z. I think, honestly, he have a drinking problem.
All right, thanks for the calling. Didi, you're sure it wasn't easy, but it's important. It's an important first step, right? Can you tell me a bit more about what you have been observing about your friend?
But over the last few weeks, honestly, I've noticed some changes. Like, normally have a time he just be out on the corner, he coming out late, and then, like, he looking kind of rough. He always tired, eyes puffy. And, it just, he kind of shaky sometimes.
Oh, all right. Is that all you notice? Or is this abnormal to his regular behavior?
Yeah, pretty much. What really had me worried was like, last weekend we had a football game, and this game is about 8 o'clock in the morning, man. And he showed up smelling full of alcohol. And not just a little, I mean like you could really tell alcohol on him. When I asked him now, he telling me he live last night and he kind of overdo it. But I find lately, like it becoming a pattern. So I also noticed like, like he making up excuse to hang out. And the only time he willing to hang out with me is like, it had to be by a bar or it had to be somewhere that concern alcohol then.
That definitely sounds concerning. Has he said anything about, stress or personal issues, anything that might be triggering this type of behavior?
Well, kind of. He mentioned to me like he little stressed about the money, and then he thinking he girl holding him, and I don't know if that have part to play with it because like he don't himself be on the block anymore. Even with mutual friends, does hardly see him, and when we check on him home, he not there. It just feels like it's something deeper to me, but like he using this alcohol. I don't know if it's a coping or is a escape. I really don't know that.
You're picking up on a lot of important signs, right? Changes in the behavior, physical symptoms, social withdrawal, and the connection to stress. All of those could point to alcohol misuse, especially if the drinking becomes more frequent or if it's interfering with responsibilities and also his relationship. You're clearly clear about him. I can tell that. You really, really do care about him. The fact that you're calling, it actually says a lot. We'll talk about this more off the air as time is almost upon us for the program. So Didi, please just stay on the line and we'll discuss how to approach someone who care and who you care about and what you think, in regards to the struggling and substance use.
Okay, of course. And I just want to say thanks for creating this space for us to talk this out. Thank you very much.
Okay, what a powerful bunch of conversations we just had. But unfortunately, folks, we have run out of time, right? I'll hand you over to my co-host, who will have some final words and wrap up. Irvin, over to you.
Right, thank you, Damien. Again, really interesting conversation. We thank the public for calling in and giving your contributions. And special thanks, we must say special thanks for our guests, Mr. Friday. Thank you for lending your expertise in this regard. And Mr. Rondell Fraser, again, thank you for, sharing your knowledge with us and with the public. All right, thank you and we have to have you back because the time was so short that we weren't able to really give the advice. You all were able to give the advice that you wanted to. So Ms. Friday, do you have any closing remarks that you'd like us to know and the public to know? As the case may be, just your closing remarks, please.
And I just want to say that for everyone to remember, your health is your wealth.
Great advice, great advice. And Mr. Fraser, anything you'd like to add?
Is there's shrinking seeking support. Don't be ashamed and looking for support when you are in an issue. Right?
Great. So again, we want to thank for our guests. We want to thank again my co-host. We want to thank the public for listening in and calling in, right? And putting yourself on the spot in order to seek help for someone else. Again, you've been listening to Talk It Out TNT. We might again be safe, be well, stay blessed until we meet for part 2. Okay then. Thanks again for listening and watching.